Hello and welcome to Fermanagh GATV from Brewster Park, Enniskillen. 51 days ago, Jamie Steele hit the opening score of the Senior Football Championship, and tonight it comes down to two teams, Derrygonnelly Harps or Erne Gaels Belleek. Joining me in Brewster Park today is Patrick McGovern of Canola and Belleek's Dara McGovern. Lads, looking out, splendid pitch, splendid surroundings. It's going to be a great game.
It is. I was actually just saying to Paddy there, I'm nearly sick of coming and having to watch these games. I'd love to be involved myself. Nothing beats Championship final day, and it's actually obviously a change this year in terms of it's on a Saturday evening, I think, which adds to it. So I'm expecting a close game as always between these two.
Patrick, it's a repeat of the Division 1 league final, and both these sides pretty much know plenty about each other.
Yeah, they sure do. They've come across a good few times now this last number of years. So the scene is set now, pitch is in good condition, teams are good to go now, so yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah.
Patrick, you've already come up against Erne Gaels this year and you've got a very commendable draw in the group stage.
What impressed you about Erne Gaels that Sunday afternoon?
Erne Gaels, they're in very, very good condition, very well conditioned team, and there are a lot of naturally good footballers, very skillful footballers. They're strong in every line and they're very well drilled, so they'll be hard beat today. Yeah.
And Dara, just going back to the group stages, you really gave Derrygonnelly quite a fright. I know it was an injury-plagued championship season for yourself, but that evening, Fermanagh, they really put it up to Derrygonnelly that Saturday.
We did, and looking back, I know the Timor game was the sickener, but that one was pretty big in terms of if we'd have won that game, we could have got automatically through to a semi-final. So it showed us that we're not that far away, but I suppose it shows as well that teams like Derrygonnelly nearly always show that kind of character come the end of games. But yeah, a few things obviously didn't go for us that day in terms of sending off and stuff. But I suppose Derrygonnelly, they're proving, I suppose, at this stage that they're one of the top teams in Fermanagh.
And Patrick, just, there's a, dare I say it, there's a repeat of the Division 1 league final to come as well between these two sides. In Fermanagh club football, are these the best two teams currently operating in the county?
They probably are, Park, yeah. I know Erne Gaels had a good league campaign. Probably should have won out that league final, but they might not have been as happy with their championship run. But they'll not be too concerned. I think that they're happy to be here, championship final day. They'll not really be too bothered, I don't think, about performances. They're happy they're here. They're happy to be here, and they'll give it a good rattle today. Yeah.
And Dara, I suppose the big game for any man is the referee tonight, Barry Monaghan representing Irvinstown. The new rules have really opened the scoring this year. We're seeing record score lines in a number of games. It's a big one for Barry Monaghan.
It is, aye. In terms of the new rules, it's been a breath of fresh air, to be honest. I think nobody could really argue that it's a better game now, so I don't know if it probably makes someone like Barry's job a lot harder when there's so many rules to referee, but yeah, Barry's a good referee and I'm sure he'll be well fit for it.
And Patrick, just looking out onto the two teams, and I suppose we'll start maybe on Derrygonnelly. They've won 7 of the last 10 county titles. What are they doing right?
I think their underage success seems to be in good shape. They seem to have a conveyor of players coming through every year that can play football. They seem to have a good number coming through, which is a big thing for any team. But also their success breeds success. So when you're winning, it's easier to get them players through, and you have a winning mentality as well, and you know how to win out games and stuff. So Derrygonnelly's in a good place as a club. Yeah.
And Dara, just a special mention on Erne Gaels. I suppose we touch on Alton Kelm. We all know he's a big player for Fermanagh and of course Erne Gaels, and he done so well with them last season. He played a bit part in the semi-final victory over Erne. Surely Declan Bonner needs him from the start this evening.
Yeah, I think we just got word through there that the teams are starting as named, so he's in from the start, and from what I know, he's been training more over the last couple of weeks than he probably was before, so that might stand to him. He's probably just building his way into the championship, and he could light it up today, who knows. But again, he definitely isn't at full tilt, but even Alton Kelm at 80-85% is a massive threat to Derrygonnelly, so that could prove a difference today.
And on the semi-final victories, Patrick, we'll start Derrygonnelly. I suppose they gave Timor a bit of a beating. I think there was 17 points in the end. Were Derrygonnelly that good that evening, or were Timor that bad?
Derrygonnelly was good. They were good all over. They're very experienced team now in championship. Timor, up from Division 2 a couple of years ago. Quite a young team, bar one or two players. They're a young team, maybe a lack of an experience as well. But Derrygonnelly was good that day. Yeah, they were very good. They're big in the middle. They're physical, and their players know where they should be at the right time. So yeah, Derrygonnelly was very good that day. Yeah.
And on that Erne Gaels victory over Erne, they left it very, very late, but they're in touching distance now for going for 2 in a row. And dare I say it could be one of Declan Bonner's last ever games in the next game or two.
Yeah, that's it. They were massively lucky, I think, to get over that Erne game. From what I seen, Erne dominated large parts of it. But again, it shows, and we've seen it time and time again under Declan Bonner with Belleek, that they've shown that level of character, and that probably wasn't evident before Bonner came in. They were nearly losing them games, and they were reaching championship finals and not getting over the line. So this is huge, and it gives them that bit more incentive, knowing that it is Declan's last Fermanagh championship game anyway. So I think they'll be very hard stopped just because of that kind of ruthless nature that they've kind of built over the last number of years. They've turned themselves into a really good championship team.
Lads, just looking out, of course, tomorrow afternoon's live game as well. Intermediate championship final, Irvinstown Belleek. Irvinstown strong favourites, Patrick, and look at Belleek are there. I don't think too many would have tipped Belleek to make that final.
No, probably not going on their league form anyway, but Belleek got players back there towards the end of the league and the start of the championship, and slowly they've worked themselves back into it. And although Irvinstown may be favourites, Belleek won't be easy beat tomorrow. They're a dogged outfit, and they'll be in Irvinstown's faces tomorrow from the get-go. So Irvinstown had a very good league campaign as well. Quite the opposite to Belleek, but championship's always different. Yeah.
And Dora, special mention as well, St Patrick's Donagh winning the junior championship last Sunday against Newtown Butler.
Yeah, Newtown Butler, I don't know, they're struggling to get out in the junior championship, and it's another really, really tough defeat for them to take. But when Donagh get all their players on the pitch, they're a good team and they're well able to compete at intermediate level even. So I wouldn't say it was a massive shock either, but yeah, I suppose when you look at it, Newtown, with the calibre player they have, they probably shouldn't be down at that level either. So yeah, but they fully deserve the victory as well in the day, Donagh.
Lads, just quickly, the last couple of minutes here as we watch out Barry Monaghan call the captains. Can I ask you to call it, Patrick, up from Canole? Who's going to win it, Derrygonnelly or Erne Gaels?
I think going on league and championship form, I'd have to say Derrygonnelly.
Yep. Dora, big call from yourself?
Just seeing that Alton's in from the start, I think he's a big leader for them, and I think that'll get Belleek over the line.
Thanks very much. We'll hand up now to Gerard Tressay and Martin O'Brien.
Yes, indeed. Porrick, thank you down the pitch side, and thanks to Dara and Paddy as well for their contribution. Big evening here, of course, in Fermanagh GAA. It is the Seniors Championship Final, sponsored by Monagh. And as you say, I'm joined here by Devonish stalwart, former player, former manager, former county player too, of course, Marty O'Brien. You're very welcome this evening,
much,
and a great game to look forward to.
It is, yeah. Just looking at the teams warming up there now, both teams look in flying shape. The pitch is in great condition. The weather's holding up nicely. So hopefully we get a dry hour now, and looking forward to the game. It should be a good tight contest.
9th final in 11 years for Derrygonnelly, and they're seeking their 8th title in that run, and their 11th in total. And it was 30 years ago, 1995, when they won their first. That's some record.
In fairness, it's been exceptional. The last 10 years, what Derrygonnelly have done has been excellent. They've had a good, as Paddy was mentioning, a conveyor belt of players coming through there and strengthening up each year. And you see it again this year with the like of Conor Rasdale in there in full forward at 18. And you know that is what you need to keep that success going. You need players coming in, 2 or 3 players knocking on the door every year. And Derrygonnelly have managed to do it. So look, in fairness to them, they've been exemplary now over the last 10 years, and they'll be pushing hard to win this final again tonight.
And as for Erne Gaels' 4th final in a row, and,
Yeah.
and you add in then the intermediate final in 2022 as well,
mention it.
or 2021, which
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you don't want to think about too
No,
much.
no, I try to keep it out of my mind as much as I can. But
But you have to admire
absolutely.
Erne Gaels for what they've done over the last 5 years.
yeah, definitely, because I was at the game against Ballinelec when they went down to intermediate, and it was probably a sliding doors moment, them going intermediate at that time, because there was a crop of players there who had the capabilities to produce a championship, intermediate and senior, and when they went down that time, they really put the shoulder to the wheel. I think Big Shamey took over as manager, and Kieran Smith came in with him, and they really haven't looked back. Like they built success after success since that. Getting out of intermediate that first year, and then up into the senior final straight away the year after that. And it took them a couple of goes at it, but they finally got the job done last year. And in fairness to Belleek, it's been excellent from them over the last few years. They've proven themselves to be a quality outfit, and they again will be going hard for 2 in a row, which would really cement their position as a quality team. To get 2 in a row is not that often that teams do it. So it'll be a big thing for them to prove themselves here tonight, especially against Derrygonnelly, who have put them to the sword in a couple of championship finals over the last few years.
Yeah, you have to admire Belleek and Derrygonnelly, and of course I think Enniskillen are the only other team to feature in a championship final this decade.
Yeah, well, you don't like to think of teams dominating the county, but when you look at it that way, Ger, it that it has been the case, and credit to both teams and Enniskillen, that they keep coming back, because it's not easy, to keep coming back every year, particularly if you're tasting defeat like Belleek had for a couple of years there. But they've come back again, and now they are looking for 2 in a row. So, look, it's credit to them and to the club as a whole. It takes a lot. It takes a club to put these 15 guys out on the pitch, so they're doing something right behind the scenes there, and fair play to them.
Third time the two teams have met in 10 years. Derrygonnelly winning both 2016 and 2023. Will that have any impact on this evening's encounter?
I think it'll probably be in these Belleek guys' heads. A lot of those lads would have been on the losing end of those finals. Derrygonnelly probably have a bit more turnover, particularly from 2016. The team's probably largely changed, but a lot of those Belleek guys have been about for a long time, and they would remember those defeats, and that can make you stronger. And it'll probably be playing in their minds a bit today, and they'll be looking to put that right, I would imagine.
Well, as we look out, we see Derrygonnelly there in their huddle, and maybe that's an opportune moment to take a look at the Derrygonnelly Harps side. Jack Kelly in goals, Aaron Jones, Oisin Smith and Michael Jones is the full back line. Ryan McGovern, Shane McGullion and Ronan McHugh in the half back line. Jarlath Flanagan and Stephen McGullion in the middle of the field. Gareth McGovern, Lee Jones and Aidan McKenna in the half forward line, and Conan Razzle, Rory Smith and Gary McKenna on the full forward line. And just as we look out now on the pitch, we see a moment whereby Peter McGinnity, Russian Gleeson and Father Gabriel Dolan bring out a sign to highlight the Fermanagh Gaels against genocide in Gaza, and we will have a minute's silence in a moment's time for all those that have been deceased in Gaza. But maybe we'll get a look at the Erne Gaels team prior to that. Brian Ryder in goals, Paul Ward, Jack McCann and Alton O'Reilly's the full back line. Oisin Kellam, Ryan Lyons the captain at 6 and Oran Johnson at 7. Michael O'McGarrigle and Brian Mullen is at 8 and 9. Half forward line at Dan McCann, Thomas McCaffrey and Egon Kellam, and then Shane Rooney, Alton Kellam and Barry McCann is the full forward line. So we will now pause I should say, for a moment's silence in memory of all those that have been deceased in the recent or the ongoing war, I should say, in Gaza, as Peter McGinnity and Father Gabriel Dolan and Russian Gleeson stand there in the stand or in the pitch. And this is an opportune moment too to also mention that tomorrow morning a solidarity walk has been organised by Fermanagh Gaels against genocide in Gaza, and we'll give you some more details on that in a moment. But for now we'll pause for a moment's silence. Very generous round of applause there for Father Gabriel Dolan, Russian Gleeson, Peter McGinnity as they make their way off the pitch. As I was saying, the walk tomorrow morning will set off at Creighton Chapel near Liston at 10:30 a.m. and make its way to Brewster Park ahead of the intermediate final. So everyone is encouraged to attend and show your solidarity with the Palestine people. And don't forget, it's very important to wear your club colours on that walk. There'll also be a collection for medical aid for Palestinians, so please support that if you can. We'll now pause for our anthem, Aron Nevian. From the Erne Gaels Belleek Club, score senior champion here in Fermanagh for the past 2 years, and of course a big evening for the O'Reilly family with her brother Ulton playing at cornerback for Erne Gaels. And speaking of Ultons, the big news being that, well, with just a bit of interference in our earphones at the minute, but bear with us on that one. The big news, Marty, is that Ulton Kellam starting tonight's game.
Yeah, that's big. It is big news now for Erne Gaels, and it's big news for Derrygonnelly as well, I suppose. Possibly Oisin Smith or Mickey Jones will be eyeing them up now to try and put a bit of a stopper on Ulton for 60 minutes. Is no easy task, you know, but it'll be interesting to see how he goes. That Belleek forward line, when you put Ulton Kellam into the middle of it there, there's a lot of power, there's a lot of quality in that forward line, so it'll be interesting to see how Derrygonnelly can cope with that Belleek forward line, because they're very strong there, six very good forwards inside. So yeah,
and Aigan Callum, of course, playing really, really well. Oisin, his brother, as well. Shane Rooney with that all-important point that defeated Erne a few weeks ago. Our referee, our officials this evening is Barry Monaghan from Irvinstown, James Lewis from Listonskea on one line, Nigel Sini on the other, Michael Keown is our sideline official. Our umpires are Joe McQuaid, Liam Donnelly, John McIlhill and Michael Duffy, all from Irvinstown. And we're just about to get the Monarch Senior Football Championship of 2025 underway here in Brewster Park and in Enniskillen. We didn't mention the conditions. There was rain on my journey down here this afternoon, but no rain thankfully here in Brewster Park, and it'll be Derrygonnelly, I think, that'll play with the advantage of the breeze in this first half, as Aigan Callum gets his hands on the ball, gets it over to his captain. His captain, of course, is Ryan Lyons, out over the far side of the field. Lyons treads forward, a little bit of space open up front, good ball inside, looking for Dan McCann, but Jack Kelly is out, reads the danger and clears his lines very quickly there for the Harps, and out it goes towards Shane McGullion. McGullion comes forward, good run ahead of him there, if it can be fired. That's a good ball there, looking for Ryan McGovern. That was an excellent run by McGovern. Still McGovern gets the shot away. It looks good from Ryan McGovern. It is good from Ryan McGovern. It's the first score of the game. It was a brilliant counter-attack. Started with the goalkeeper Jack Kelly, but a brilliant run from Ryan McGovern.
Excellent from Jack Kelly there. Read the situation, was a bit of danger there, but Jack came out, cleared his lines, and Derrygonnelly moved it through the hands, and an excellent score by Ryan McGovern at the far side there. A good start for Derrygonnelly. That'll settle them into it. Just Barry Monaghan seems to be having some issues, I think technical issues he's over with his umpire, but yeah, no, a strong counter attack from Derrygonnelly there.
Yeah, a really, really purposeful run. I'm sure Ryan McGovern's glad that the official had to get some remedial works carried out on his equipment, because that was a lone bursting run from Ryan McGovern.
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll be needing him to do that again, over and over again here, as Derrygonnelly try and put a bit of pressure on this kick out.
Up to go for it. McGullion, that's Stephen, wins it or knocks it down. Tommy McCaffrey in a little bit of bother, but we'll follow the play. Lee Jones comes forward. Tommy McCaffrey in a lot of pain, but it looks like down below us. We're trying to follow the ball, but Tommy McCaffrey in serious problems by the looks of things as Garrett McGovern comes forward, gives the ball out there towards Jarlath Flanagan. Flanagan's shot goes in, Flanagan's shot goes over the bar. This has been an excellent start for Derrygonnelly Harps. Excellent score from Jarlath Flanagan, but a very worrying injury down here for Tommy McCaffrey.
The physio was out straight away there. Tommy, he did look in some distress. Great score by Jarlath Flanagan there, just coming in on his right foot. Before that, Stephen McGullion, a massive leap in the middle of the park, and he's a big man. Michael O'McGarrigle, I know, is big as well. They seem to be facing up against each other there. But McGullion, when he gets a bit of a run and a jump there, he's very hard to stop in the air. So I'd imagine that's going to be a feature of Derrygonnelly's play, trying to put a bit of pressure on Raiders' kick where they can.
Stephen McGullion's having some season.
He is, yeah. He has it in him. He's got all the attributes there. He's a big, strong, powerful man. He can run, he can catch, he can kick a point. So there's no reason why he shouldn't be doing it over and over again. Tommy seems to be all right.
Would you call that all right? You would?
I think so. County final, I think so.
He's grimacing. That's all I'll say. I'm not so sure. I think Tommy McCaffrey's day might be done. I'm not sure. Well, I see he gives the thumbs up there to Paul Brennan, so he must feel as if he's fit to continue. As that kick out from Brian Ryder isn't a good one on that occasion, out over the sideline and taken quickly there by Ronan McHugh. McHugh gets it back to Stephen McGullion. McGullion coming forward. The Harps lead 2 points to no score. Stephen McGullion lays it off to Jones. Back it goes through the hands there. McKenna back there to Ryan McGovern. His confidence is high because he notched a super point a few moments ago. It looks as if he's got a second one of the afternoon.
Yeah, they're just double checking if it was a 1 or a 2. Better to get the right, and it was an excellent point again by Rian. And again, the pressure on the kick out from Brian Ryder forced him out over the line, and quick movement of the ball from Derrygonnelly, and another good score. Belleek need to get hands on ball here to turn it round.
Yeah, and Brian Ryder being forced to go long. Steve McGullion on there, breaks the ball again, but this time it breaks into the safe hands there of Owen Johnson. He gives it to Ulton Callum. Callum striding forward. That searing pace that Ulton Callum has got him up the field. Gives it to his oldest brother. That is Oshin. He lays it off to, no he didn't, he held it. Ryan Lyon's been a good run off his left hand shoulder, didn't use him. Give it back here to Barry McCann. Looks like Barry McCann's playing further out the field this afternoon or this evening, as it eventually comes back now to Ryan Lyons. Lyons gives it to Brian Mullen. Good purposeful run from Mullen, still going. This is a great run for Brian Mullen. Experienced player Brian Mullen. Came forward there, was on the end of that one, popped it over the bar. A score that Belleek really badly needed, and it came from one of the most experienced players. Yeah, excellent timing in the run there from Brian. He's a very determined, dogged player, and he just made the run at the right time and got himself a wee bit of space and slotted it over the bar. So good response from Erne Gaels. I could just see there Ulton and Aegon Callum swapping places there the odd time. I imagine that'll be a feature here. One could be in and one could be out, and it'll change probably throughout the game. Kick out is one in the middle of the field there by Rory Smith for Derrygonnelly. Gives it to Colin Rasdell. Rasdell comes forward. Gives it to Lee Jones. Jones cuts inside the large arc. Lays it back there to Ronan McHugh. McHugh pops it inside to Rory Smith. Smith bounces the ball. Nearly lost it. Maybe held it too long. Has had to recycle it. Back it comes to McHugh. McHugh feeds it back out one more time to his captain. That's Shane McGullion. McGullion comes cross field. Lays it off there to Garrett McGovern. McGovern, the 23-year-old, comes forward. Lays it off. An opportunity now for Ryan McGovern. He's kicked 2 in the game already. Third time unlucky for him. First wide of the game for Derrygonnelly, but they still lead 3 points to 1 after 6 minutes. Yeah, Ryan has picked up a bit of space there. His third shot already. I see it's probably Tommy McCaffrey that's picking him up, so that could be the reason why he's getting that wee bit of space. Just inside looking there. Kick out comes out in the middle of the field, broken there by Jarlath Flanagan. Of course, his father, the manager, gives it forward there now to Shane McGullion. McGullion cuts inside, great purposeful run again from McGullion, lays it off there to Guy McKenna, but McKenna should be disappointed with that. That was a good opportunity, goes to the right hand side, goes wide, second wide of the game. Yeah, a poor wide, that certainly should have went over the bar.
McKenna. He had space and he had time. It's a really poor wide there.
He'd be disappointed.
But again, Derrygonnelly putting that pressure on the two big men in the middle, Jarlath Flanagan and McGullion, are putting a lot of pressure on Brian Ryder here.
Well, the kickouts are so important now. This Brian Ryder taking his time, this time electing to go over the far side with it. Over it goes, but again, Derrygonnelly are dominating this sector with Stephen McGullion. McGullion's ball, not the best ball in the world. Well picked up again by Brian Mullen. Mullen lays it back to Egon Callum. Callum 45 metres out from his own goal. Gives it to Michael McGarrigle. McGarrigle to Ryan Lyons. Back to Egon Callum. A little bit of space for Callum to operate in. However, he elects to come back with it to Ryan Lyons. And back across it comes to Michael McGarrigle. McGarrigle gives it to Oren Johnson. Johnson over the far side now. 65 metres out from his own goals. That's Ryan Lyons, 32-year-old captain of the Erne Gaels side, going for back-to-back titles. Ball in the hands now of Oren Johnson. Johnson lays it off to Brian Mullen. Mullen, point scorer for Erne Gaels in this encounter. As the ball comes forward with Dan McCann. McCann gives it to Tommy McCaffrey, moving a lot better now that he's recovered fully from that injury. Lays it off to Oisín Callum. Back it goes to Ryan Lyons. Good width to this attack. Lyons outside of the left boot. Fine effort from Ryan Lyons, but it goes to the left-hand side and goes wide. It's very cagey. It's very interesting. Belleek using the whole length of the pitch, slower in their attack and building their attack, Marty.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're a wee bit more deliberate about their build-ups there, which I suppose against the breeze is probably, the breeze is not very strong, but it's probably why they're keeping it a bit slow. If they get the chance though, if they get a chance of a counter attack, you'll see the power and the pace come to play then.
Jack Kelly's kick out has been won there by Michael McGarrigle, done well. Got his hands on it. The ball fed forward now from the resultant free to Dan McCann. McCann does well. McCann steadies down. Will it curl? No, it'll curl to the right hand side and curl wide. 2 wides for Erne Gaels, 2 wides for Derrygonnelly. 9 minutes played. Your thoughts on those opening 9 minutes?
Yeah, interested. I suppose Derrygonnelly be the happier, and even with a couple of wides there, they're a couple of points ahead there. They're putting a good bit of pressure on the Erne Gaels kick out. Looking inside there, we haven't seen anything from Shane Rooney so far. Mickey Jones is picking him up. You know what Mickey's like in there. He's very sticky. But if Shane Rooney gets a wee sniff there, he's not afraid to put it over the bar.
Great kick out from Jack Kelly, landed in the arms of Shane McGullion. He gets the Harps moving again through the man who scored 2 points in the game. He might fancy us for a third. Ryan McGovern gets the shot away. Again, it looks good from McGovern. It is good from McGovern, and that is an issue that Erne Gaels are going to have to address very, very quickly, because Ryan McGovern in the opening 9 minutes has kicked 3 excellent scores and had 1 wide.
Yeah, excellent there. And again, I thought it was Tommy McCaffrey that's picking him up there, but there seems to be nobody near him in the last few attacks there, so it is something Belleek will have to address there. He's had 3 points and he had a near wide for a 2-pointer, and Derrygonnelly have turned him over.
Yeah, brilliant turnover there by Shane McGullion. Looks as if McGullion touched the ball on the ground, says the referee.
I think it was I'm not sure about that decision, to be honest, but again, good pressure by Derrygonnelly, and then the turnover of McGullion, it's not often you can turn him over, so Belleek will be very happy with that. And here's the pace coming now.
Good slip inside to Egon Callum. Brilliant from Callum! Oh, what a shot! What a goal from Egon Callum! Back off the stanchion. That is an unbelievable goal in this championship final. It rattles the back of the net. Meanwhile, there's a man, an Erne Gaels player down, and Ryan McGovern may well be in a spot of bother. There wasn't a whole lot in it from what I could see, but just look at this goal. What a terrific goal.
Unbelievable finish, just right in the top corner. A brilliant counter-attack. I said it, that if Belleek get a chance to counter fast, they will. They've got pace and they've got power, and you see when Oisín Callum gets the ball, Egon Callum comes to life, because he knows he'll slip it, and the runs they make, they know each other well. They're brothers, you can see it. They're making space, and a great run off the shoulder, just dipped in past one player and absolutely rifled it. That is an excellent finish. I didn't see what happened after the fact there, but looks like somebody is
coming out for
red card.
For the goal. Yeah, it's a straight red card for Ryan McGovern. Well,
would like to see a replay of that. That's a tight 11 minutes for Ryan McGovern. 3 points and a wide and a red card. Unbelievable.
That's a huge blow for Derrygonnelly. The man who scored 3 points in the opening 11 minutes has been red carded for an off the ball incident after the goal. I'm not sure if we can go back to the goal and see from our camera angles whether, well, we just watch. That's Ryan McGovern in the play there. Oisín Callum slipped it off into Aegon. Aegon had the shot, came back out the field. It's coming back out the field here now, just to our left. No, we don't have the rest of it, but I did see it at the corner of my eye.
Red's extreme now. I didn't see it at all.
I seen it, but to be honest, I can't say that I seen it clearly. I didn't think. I know there was contact, but I didn't think it was going to result in a straight red card.
It would be good to see it again now, but that's an awful blow for Derrygonnelly this early in the game, and it'll take a.
Well, sides are level, and already the squeeze is going on by Belleek on.
Oisin Smith was under a lot of pressure there. He done well to get a free out of it. Belleek smell blood here now. You can see Rooney and Callum are putting an extra bit of a squeeze on, but Derrygonnelly have done well, but they're going to be up against it now. 14 men against 15 for 50 minutes is going to be a tough ask.
Yeah, well, that's a huge blow for Derrygonnelly, as you say, so early in the game, and from a player that started the game exceptionally well. Ball nearly been turned over there. As you say, Erne Gaels smell blood at this stage, and they're putting in serious work rate and tackles. Derrygonnelly have to be very careful to hold 3 behind as they come forward here with Lee Jones. Sides level. What a start to this Monarch Senior Football Championship final. We've had 4 points for Derrygonnelly. We've had a goal and a point for Erne Gaels, and we've had a red card for Ryan McGoffin from Derrygonnelly. And in possession is Charlotte Flanagan. Flanagan lays it off to Steve McGullion. McGullion to Lee Jones. Lee, serious pace, wee bit of space to operate, and gives it back to McHugh, not known for his shooting.
Not the man. It was the perfect run off the shoulder, but not the man you want on the end of it. But Derrygonnelly, I suppose, took a bit of the sting out of it there. They held the ball for a couple of minutes, but it would have been beneficial for them to get a point after that. This is going to make a massive difference to the game now. The squeeze on the kick out and everything is going to change, because Derrygonnelly can't afford to be pressing up with the 14 men as they were, and they had been getting a wee bit of they'll be making a bit of hay on that Belleek kick out. So it's changed the complex of the game completely.
Yeah, because there's the perfect example of that. Brian Ryder was able to get his kick out short to Ryan Lyons, and Erne Gaels are able to build, and Derrygonnelly have to drop off. As coming forward now is Owen Johnson. Johnson to the goal scorer. What a goal! One of the goals of the championship finals in this. Well,
it was an unbelievable finish. You knew when he got that wee bit of space, he wasn't thinking about taking it in any further. He knew he had it in him. And what a shot, an absolute rocket, like a real top-class goal.
Top right-hand corner, as a matter of fact, it hit the stanchion and bounced back out, and here goes Ulton Callum, but still going, Callum gets the shot away, but it's gone to the left and gone wide. 3 wides apiece, and the sides locked level at 4 points to 1-1. Some start.
Yeah, and again a disappointing wide there from Ulton Callum. He had got a bit lucky to get the ball back in possession. They thought he'd coughed it up, and it just popped back into his hands, and just snatched at it then when he had the second chance.
Full press from Erne Gaels, but they can afford to do that now with the extra man. Out it goes in the middle of the field. Ronan McHugh bricks up the break ball, does well. McHugh runs into black jerseys, but the referee.
Well, you see, that's interesting that Barry Monaghan had seen that and didn't give it a free. I would like to know if Barry made that decision off his own bat to give a red card, because he is a referee that will let stuff go, and he'll call it out if he thinks somebody's laying down.
James Lewis was the man who seen it on the far side.
Well, yeah, that's a different type of referee. You know, I don't think that James. I'm not criticising or anything like that. But you see what there was a slight bit of contact there, and Barry's like, get up, let it go.
Yeah.
And when the Belleek man got back up on his feet, it did look like there was very little or nothing wrong with him. And James Lewis is a more particularly kind of a ref. Barry lets it go a bit more. So it'd just be interesting to see if Barry had seen that incident for himself, would it still have been a red card?
Yeah, well, Barry.
I don't know. I didn't see it myself. I'm just speculating. I didn't see it myself, so I don't know. Maybe it was a clear red card offence. I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's just the wee nuances that you certain referees might think that something's a red card. Certain others might not.
Kick out. This time it was a right from Lee Jones, and the resulting kick out has came the way of Barry, or I should say Gary McKenna. And
that's a great score by Gary McKenna. Individual score there, won the kick out. Barry McCann, who's been tasked with marking him there, has it was tight to him all the way, and Gary just used his strength, pushed him off, got himself a bit of space, and a good settler for Derrygonnelly after that shock 5 minutes there, conceding a goal and losing a man.
Yeah, that was a super score from Gary McKenna. He scored 18 points in the championship to date. You can make that 19 now.
Unbelievable one-handed catch there in the middle from McGullion. And just interesting to see there, and again, it's the same man involved from Erne Gaels, Dan McCann. Another wee bit of afters there. So I thought, I don't know if James Lewis seen that now.
Well, the problem there was for Jarlath Flanagan. He was one of the three, so he couldn't come over the halfway line.
The divide. So yeah.
Ronan McHugh done his best to try and keep it, but couldn't.
Yeah. Maybe he could have swapped places very quickly, but it's hard.
Well, you can't take your eyes off this one. 5 points to 4 in favour of Derrygonnelly. Ulton Callum in possession. Callum out round the arc. Wins it. Comes back out. Has Michael Ogue in support. Michael Ogue McGarrigle comes forward. The 26-year-old quantity surveyor lays it back now to Brian Mullen, the man who got the opening point of the game for Belleek. Mullen gives it to Tommy McCaffrey. A great run inside by Barry McCann, but well spotted and well cut out by Jarlath Flanagan. He started this game well. Oh, ball given away on that occasion. A chance for Brian Mullen. Mullen steadies down. Mullen pops it over the bar. His second point of the game. Teams level for the second time. 1-2 plays 5 points.
Yeah, brilliant from Brian Mullen there. He's a very determined player, very hard working player, and he gets his rewards there. Good turnover and just slotted it over the bar.
Got caught.
Say again, Jen?
Gareth McGovern.
Yeah. Just a wee bit slack there. They had forced a turnover themselves, and just a bit slack there, and kick out again. McGullion is a beast around the middle on these kickouts.
He's doing really well. The brother picks up the break ball. That's Shane, and he picks up a knock to the face as well for his efforts, and he's going to have to take a wee moment.
Derrygonnelly have done well since the red card. I would say now they've settled the game rightly. They've traded points with Erne Gaels. It might come into play a bit more as the game goes on, as Belleek start to learn to play with the extra man. But at the minute, Derrygonnelly have coped fairly well with it.
Ball won there by Rory Smith. Does well. Lays it back to Shane McGullion. McGullion, referee has his hand up. The hand comes down now. Shane McGullion throws his man off. Well, the big Derrygonnelly crowd not happy with that decision, and Barry Monaghan not happy with where the free was taken from. So we'll go back.
I thought he had his hand up for an advantage, and then
took it down.
And then Shane did kind of throw the shoulder at him. It's one of them ones. Again, can go either way, but it was a fairly deliberate shoulder off, and if you're doing that, the referees do like to clamp down on that. And from a defender's point of view, like it's very hard to get away from somebody who's carrying the ball and they just drop the shoulder into you. It is, I suppose, a foul. So I don't really fully disagree with that decision from Barry.
20 minutes
played here. A lot of the Derrygonnelly fans did.
Sides level, 5 points to 1-2. The rain starts to come down. Haven't seen much of that for 2 weeks, thankfully, but we're going to see a bit of it this evening. By the looks of things, it's clouding over. Floodlights shining bright here in Brewster Park. Pitch looking resplendent in this Monarch Senior Football Championship final. Evenly poised, sides level. However, the numbers advantage is in favour of Erne Gaels, with 15 men to Derrygonnelly's 14 as the goal scorer. Aigan Callum comes forward, lays it off over the far side to Oisin Callum. Fed back out to Ryan Lyons. Back across comes to Michael Ogue McGarrigle. Quick switch now. Over goes to Barry McCann. McCann using Belleek, using the width of this pitch. Back it goes inside to Ulton Callum. Callum strides forward. Steps inside the arc. Bit of space for Ulton to operate in. Leaves it back to Dan McCann. McCann. Shane Rooley looked about getting it, but instead of slid off to Barry McCann. Might fist this one. Does fist this one. And intelligently fists it over the bar. Very experienced player. Barry McCann, 32 years of age. 14 points in the championship. Make that 15. Fine score.
Yeah, smart score there. Belleek again, methodical with their build-up and just found the opening. And they'll find it easier to do that now with the man advantage. But Green, well played by the two brothers. I think the two McCanns joined up there, and Barry just smartly slotted it over the bar with the fist.
First time Erne Gaels go into the lead here in this championship final. Ball fed forward, ball turned over, however. Ball given away by Aaron Jones, and now it's picked up by Belleek and into the hands of Alton Callum. Lays it off to Egon Callum. Egon cuts inside. Good block on that occasion. And Derrygonnelly have turned this one over and managed to come out with it. Eventually comes back there. It was Lee Jones, wasn't it? There was
yeah, good work from a couple of the kind of converged on him. I think Gareth McGovern may got a block on it in the end. But
Shane McGullion over the far side. 45 metres out from the Belleek post. Lays it back to the hard-working Ronan McHugh. 24 years of age now. McCrory Cup and Hogan Cup winner, of course, back in 2019. Ball fed forward. Picked up by Colin Rassel. He's been quiet to date, but he is some talent. Lays it off. He's been tracked all the way there by Alton O'Reilly. He is the job of man marking Colin Rassel. It shows you the respect that Belleek have for him. Everywhere Colin goes, Alton goes. Ball in the hands of Lee Jones. Back to the aforementioned Rassel. That's Alton O'Reilly standing in front of him. Rassel lays it off. Shane McGullion carrying it forward. Egan Callum tracking him. Still McGullion goes. Looks up. Lays it off. This is good play by Derrygonnelly. Still the go with Gary McKenna. McKenna's got 1 point to date. Lays it off there to Jarlath Flanagan. Back to Stephen McGullion. McGullion's shot goes to the left and goes wide. 5th wide of the evening, and that's a concern. And there's a change going to be made as well. Aidan McKenna is coming off for Derrygonnelly, and he's going to be replaced by 19-year-old Aidan Duffy.
Yeah, I suppose I think that's gone out for 45. The kick actually, yeah. But disappointing for Aidan McKenna to be coming off at this stage. I suppose Derrygonnelly probably have to rejig it a bit with the man losing the man and that. But a chance here for big Jack Kelly now to level the teams again.
Well, Aidan McKenna down below us. We're perched high above the stand here in the gantry in Brewster Park. And Aidan McKenna down below us, far from happy, and making it known to Sean Flanagan that he's unhappy with that decision. But that's what managers do, as Kelly fires it in but drops it short. First one short, so 5 wides and 1 short is something that Sean Flanagan and the rest of his management team won't be happy about, as Erne Gaels come forward again with Michael Ogan McGarrigle. McGarrigle looks up, feeds it forward. Ball now in the hands of Dan McCann. McCann lit up the championship last year, of course. Lays it down now to Jack McCann. McCann. 3 McCann brothers. Jack Barry. 4 McCann brothers. Jack Barry, Dan and Ben. Ben on the subs, the other 3 starting. Ball in the hands of Michael Ogan McGarrigle. McGarrigle looks up. Goes cross field to Egon Callum. Callum, lot of space to work in. Derrygonnelly, of course, down a player. So they're defending with 10 plus the keeper, and Belleek attacking with 11, and that's a good ball inside. Bit of space now for Ryan Lyons. Lays it off to Barry McCann. He sneaked forward again, gets the shot away, but it's gone to the right and gone wide.
Great pressure from Mickey Jones there. Jumped out at the right time, put the pressure on, got contact on Barry, and then it just had was enough of a presence to put him off. Probably could have been, Barry still could have probably got the shot away, but it was good from Mickey Jones there.
That's twice Barry McCann has came forward, one wide and 1 score, and he's also picking up Derrygonnelly's danger man, Gary McKenna. He's having a busy evening.
He is, yeah, definitely is, yeah. That's a massive task to take Gary, try and take Gary McKenna, but he is coming forward with pace, and Belleek will be expecting that too. We talked about Alton O'Reilly picking up Conal Rasdale, and like he'll be expected to be getting up and stretching the pitch out for Erne Gaels as well, I'd imagine. That's the way they normally operate, to have these guys streaming forward from the back, as a book in there for Shane McGullion.
Yeah, Shane McGullion is cutting a frustrated figure. He got turned over here one time. He got penalised for charging. He's after getting penalised there now for a hit on Tommy McCaffrey, who's been in the wars this afternoon or this evening.
Derrygonnelly will be looking to Shane like he's a quality player. He'd be one of their more experienced, one of their better players, and one of their leaders, you know, so they'll be looking to him to really, if they're to get something out of this game, they'll need him to be the driving force there, and they need to leave those frustrations behind them, and get into the game and try and make it happen for his team.
Egon Callum is adjudged to have over carried, and free goes the way of
touch and go.
Well, I'm not sure what's happened. The referee's bringing it forward for the ball not being handed back. I think. I'm not sure.
I don't know if they knew. Was they were kind of halfway between bringing it forward and halfway between touch and go. Yeah.
I think you're spot on. But the referee happy to let both go as Lee Jones lays it off to Gary McKenna. McKenna being tackled by Barry McCann. Screaming for it there is Colin Rassel. He fancied having a go at it, but ball didn't come to him quick enough. Lays it back there to Stephen McGullion. McGullion spreads the play over the far side. First touch of the game for the substitute, Aidan Duffy. Duffy cuts inside. Lays it off there to McKenna. McKenna for a 2-pointer. Ball goes in. This looks good for McKenna. Over it goes. Super score. That's a 2-pointer for Gary McKenna. Brilliant score.
From Gary McKenna there. Again, we talked about Jack McCann. It's tight on him, but a great score right on the edge of the arc. Got his wee bit of space and just slotted her over there. And that's a big score for Derrygonnelly at this stage.
They go back in front, 7-2-1-3. 7 points to 6. Kick out over on the far side. Loose ball picked up by Erne Gaels. Just 3 minutes to go in what has been a really, really eventful first half. They're in possession with Egon Kellam. You're watching Fermanagh GA TV. Coming to you live here from Brewster Park for the Monarch Senior Football Championship Final of 2025. Evenly poised. 7 points to 6 in favour of Derrygonnelly against the holders. Tommy McCaffrey cuts inside, lays it off to Oisín Kellam. Kellam has his brother beside him. Elects to give it back to his younger brother. Well, they're both younger. It's Egon. Ball in the hands of Barry McCann, sneaking forward again. McCann looks as if he is the extra man, coming forward late and coming on the end of ball. This time it's difficult for Shane Rooney. He's touched on the ground.
Brilliant again from Mickey Jones. One of the oldest players on the pitch, if not the oldest player on the pitch there. But again, springing at the right time, putting the pressure on, forcing the turnover from Shane Rooney. That's no mean feat as well. So that's brilliant. Excellent from Mickey Jones at the back.
37 years of age, Mickey Jones. Won that ball and turned Belleek over. Ball in the hands now of McKenna. That's another brilliant effort from McKenna. Over the bar goes a 2-pointer. Two 2-pointers in a row from Gary McKenna. Well, he is showing some leadership as the 30-year-old in this closing moments of the first half.
Excellent, yeah. Again, came from Mickey and a wee bit of indiscipline from Shane Rooney. And the ball was brought forward and Gary has tails up. He had the space just on the edge of the arc again. The breeze is picking up a bit here, but you can see there that Gary just floated it in lovely and curled in for him at a lovely point, and a big point as well at this stage. But as I say, the breeze is picking up, so it could be more advantageous to Erne Gaels come the second half. But Derrygonnelly have responded really well to going down to 14 here.
Yeah, we were right behind that one. It was a super effort. Yeah, confidence excellent. As high as you alluded to.
Yeah, and
kick
a bit of pressure on this kick
one.
Again. Yeah.
Well, Brian Ryder, not sure why he needed to force that. Ball fed inside to Lee Jones. Lee Jones cutting inside. Derrygonnelly searching for scores. Probably took too much out of it. The ball has been turned over. Yeah. Lee Jones.
I think Brian Ryder rushed the kick out a bit, and Gary McKenna rushed the sideline a bit as well. It possibly could have just took a wee bit of the sting out of it. Obviously, they thought there was a chance of a goal there, but as soon as Lee Jones got in there, I think it was Oisín Kellam coming up on him, and Belleek converged on him, and he couldn't get away. So. Good defending from Erne Gaels there to turn it. It looked like it could have been a dangerous one.
4 minutes to be played. Stephen McGullion bats the ball down, gets Derrygonnelly going again with Lee Jones. This time Lee Jones takes on his man. Still Jones, has he a finish? Off the crossbar! Unbelievable effort there. Back it goes to Duffy, and Duffy's shot has...
He's been given an advantage. I thought it was going to be another cracking finish. It just the underside of the crossbar, an inch in it. But brilliant play from Gian McGullion in the middle of the park. Broke the ball, strong break, and then over the top Lee Jones had another chance. Here we see it again. The substitute gave it into him. Yeah. Good play, and Paul Ward was tight on him, but he got himself a wee bit of space. Lovely wee finish, just an inch. An inch was always in it, and I think he had the advantage coming in there. So again, strong play on the Erne Gaels kick out. 2 in a row there, one over the line and one broken and a goal chance off it, and eventually ends in a point. So
Colin Rassel with the point. That means that Derrygonnelly have hit 5 points without reply in the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, again, a lot of it's coming from the kickouts. To see it with the new rules, these kickouts are massive. This possession, so Derrygonnelly are committing men to it. And if the ball goes near McGullion in the middle of the park at all, he's either fielding it or he's giving it a good long fist, and he's putting a lot of pressure on Brian Ryder here.
Brian Ryder goes long, trying to keep it away from McGullion, but again the ball has been won, and Duffy's done really well since he came on. Gives it back to McGullion, floats it inside. Oh, great piece of fielding there by Ryan Lyons. Super take from Ryan Lyons. He'll bring stability, he'll bring a calmness, he'll bring a confidence to this Belleek side, and they'll need it at the moment just to see out these last few minutes or so. 4 minutes of additional time to be added on. We've played 2 minutes of those. So 2 more minutes for Belleek to hold on and get into the dressing room and settle things down. There's only 4 points in it, but they'll have the advantage of a stiff breeze in the second half as the ball comes this side of the field over towards Dan McCann. McCann has Brian Mullen looking for it. Mullen does well, comes forward with it. Man scored 2 points in this game so far. Mullen lays it off to Oisín Kellam. Kellam feeds it forward to Barry McCann. McCann lays it off one more time. Through the hands it goes. Eventually it goes there to Ultan Kellam. A lot of noise down below me. I think they're calling for breaches. I'm not looking at it. I'm looking at the ball. I'm looking at Oisín Kellam coming forward. Kellam lays it down or over there towards Ryan Lyons. Lyons with that trusty left boot threads it out to Egon Kellam. Egon Kellam lays it off one more time to Tommy McCaffrey. McCaffrey back to Ryan Lyons. He started this move with a fantastic catch back in his own defence. Gives it back one more time to Brian Mullen. Mullen, patience. Crossfield it comes to Oisín Kellam. Kellam. Brian Mullen does a bit of a decoy run to leave a bit of space for Oisín Kellam. Back it comes crossfield to Brian Mullen. We've played 33 minutes and 15 seconds. Another 45 seconds to go in this opening half. Belleek happy to retain possession. Probably will be being advised how long is to go as Ultan Kellam steadies down, got the nudge at the right time, and again it came from the substitute Aidan Duffy. He's done really well since he came on.
He has, yeah, and good defensive setup there from Derrygonnelly. Erne Gaels were trying to probe, and they probably just didn't get the right timing on the run there, but good defensive. Belleek were patient, and the chance probably was
ball cut out there by Barry McCann. He's grown into this game, slips and goes to ground, and now Aaron Jones pounces, ball laid back. The watch says we've played exactly 34 minutes. Barry Monaghan doesn't check the watch, allows play to continue. Ryan Lyons comes forward. Lyons creeps inside the arc, steadies down, gets the shot away, in it goes. They like the look of it, do the umpires. That's a super score from Ryan Lyons just on the half-time whistle. Ryan Lyons pops it over the bar. The captain.
Yeah, captain's point too, because Erne Gaels needed it to settle them. You know, that's a good point for them getting in. And you seen when Ryan got that wee bit of space, you knew he was going to put it over. That's the kind of player he is. He's a leader. He's got the quality to do it. So a good response from Erne Gaels after 4 or 5 Derrygonnelly scores in a row there. But Ryan Lyons, as you say, is a real leader.
And Barry Monaghan calls for the ball. Blows the whistle for half time. And well, Stephen McGullion went in on the back of Brian Mullen. Referee happy enough. Some of the Belleek players not that happy with that.
I think
the referee's been very smart here. He's just getting the players to move away. Some of the Cullen, I think, having a word with.
Yeah, I think I know rightly that what Stephen McGullion knew what he was doing. I don't think he done an awful pile of harm. Brian Mullen was under the ball. The kick out, the kick out was kicked, and the final or the half time whistle blew. McGullion knew it was up, and Brian Mullen knew it was up. But I think Stephen just went in and left a bit on him. It's probably a bit of something and nothing, to be honest with you, Jet. But
yeah. Well, it hasn't been something of nothing throughout those opening 34 minutes. Where do we start? Where do we finish? I mean, Derrygonnelly got off to a terrific start. Led 4 points to 1 after 10 minutes. Ray McGovern had kicked 3 wonderful points, and then a turnover ball on Shane McGullion, I think I'm right in saying, resulted in a brilliant goal. An absolutely brilliant goal by Egan Kellam. And from the resulting shemozzle, Ryan McGovern picks up a straight red card.
A massive sequence. I thought myself, I thought myself it was possibly a bit harsh on Shane McGullion. He did probably touch the ball on the ground. I think he was probably thinking he was getting a free. I thought he was going to get a free. He didn't. But you have to respond. You can't. You have to play on. And Belleek went for it. We talked about it earlier in the half. If they do get a chance to break with power and pace, there's no team better in the county than doing it. They've got quality coming from every lane. They've got a lot of strength and a lot of pace. And I think it was maybe Oisín had the ball and Aegon just came to life and just slipped in by his man, and as good a finish as you'll ever see on a Gaelic pitch. Absolutely rifled it. What happened after that, Derrygonnelly will be bitterly disappointed to lose a man after losing a goal. But they've responded really well. You know, the Gary McKenna up front has come into the game massively, and they made a change there. They probably jigged it around a wee bit, but they responded really well to going down and losing that goal.
Since then, they've outscored Erne Gaels 6 points to 3.
Yeah, and in fairness, until the goal and the sending off, it was Derrygonnelly were a lot the stronger team. Now that we can feel that breeze picking up a bit now. There is a breeze in it, but Derrygonnelly will be quietly happy with how it's going, despite the fact they lost a man. They're still showing, you know, signs that they can control this game within reason, even at 14 men. The power they have in the middle of the park is massive. I know Brian Mullen's having a really good game for Erne Gaels, but in terms of kickouts contesting, Jarlath and Stephen McGullion have been massive, and Brian Ryder's not got the biggest kick out in the world, so if you can start to squeeze that, then you're pushing Belleek right back all the time. So that is one thing that Erne Gaels will try to address. I would imagine they'll be looking towards Big Shamey at some stage. He's a man you could bring in at full forward, or you could bring him in at midfield, and he is a big unit, and he's hard. He's a hard man to contest, you know, and he's the like of the man. He'd not be able to contest probably with speed, but he's definitely physically strong enough to get in and mix it with Stephen McGullion. At the minute, Michael Ogue and Brian are struggling on the kickouts, and Belleek in general are struggling, and that's why Derrygonnelly have been so strong.
That's the voice of Marty O'Brien with us here on Fermanagh GA TV this evening. Well, it was hard to call before the game started. I think it's even harder to call now as the rain comes down here in Brewster Park. We'll take a quick advertisement break before we go pitch side and join Dara, Paddy and Porrick.
We all need somewhere. We who live for the day that might never come. We who go back again and again to where we come from.
Well, lads, what's the crack?
We who won't stop until we're unstoppable.
Very nice shoes tonight.
We who will never say no to getting stuck in.
You got it all free?
We who pass on every tradition and skill that was passed on to us. We who love the days that come forever. Him, her, them, us. We all need somewhere that belongs to us all. GAA, where we all belong.
One, go.
Welcome back to Brewster Park as the rain slowly starts to fall here. Half-time scoreline, Derrygonnelly 10 points, Erne Gaels 1-4. And I suppose the biggest talking point of that first half, Dara McGurn, is Derrygonnelly down to 14 men and Ryan McGovern straight red card in 13 minutes.
Yeah, that's the talking point, but to be honest, it's Derrygonnelly that's upped the intensity levels since that's happened. Belleek seem to have nearly expected something to happen when they've got an extra man, so if it continues going the way it's going, I can't see Derrygonnelly losing the game even with a man less, so Belleek's going to have to come out in the second half and probably get the first score and start building some momentum, because at the minute, like, Derrygonnelly are comfortable enough and Belleek don't look overly dangerous even with that extra man.
Patrick, it's a 3-point game for Derrygonnelly, but of course they're down to 14 men. A special credit must go to Aegon Kelm in that goal. It was some finish.
Super finish, yeah. But Aegon has that in his locker. Loads of pace, loads of skill, and we don't see enough of that out of Aegon. Super player, but he rifled that top bag. Very good score. Yeah.
And our special mention as well must go to Gary McKenna. 2 late 2-pointers that really pushed Derrygonnelly further ahead.
Yeah, Gary's turned into a big leader for this team over the last probably couple of years, so he really stood up in those moments, and obviously had there's a small breeze there going that direction, so he probably felt with the man down, he probably had to take a few of those on because they mightn't be on now in the second half, so serious courage I suppose to step up and kick them, and it's given them a bit of a cushion now which could stand to them in the last 10 minutes of this game.
As the rain starts to really come down, and as I was saying, there's a bit of a wind assistance too for Erne Gaels in the second half. With 15 men, Patrick, Belleek, they're 3 points behind, but they'll have the extra man.
Extra man, yeah, but they'll have to get the right man free. Just because you're a man up doesn't necessarily mean you'll take advantage of it. So they'll have to get that, be working out at half time who's going to be free for them. Wind, I don't know, is the wind a big thing now for the second half? Seems to have died down a bit there. The rain is blowing that way a wee bit, but we'll see now what happens. Belleek will have to come out to 3 points down, obviously, and they'll have to come out and bigger players step up. As Ryan Lyons has had a quiet enough first half. They'll be surely looking towards Ryan Lyons to get the thing going for them now in the second half. But no, game on here.
Though probably the biggest thing with the new rules now, does 15 v 14 make a huge difference?
It should make a huge difference because you're having to defend one less. And then obviously the opposition's attacking with one more. So Belleek, to be honest, they need to start utilising that extra body a bit better, because at the minute there's too many sitting around the edge of the arc and nearly protecting Derrygonnelly hitting them in the break, whereas they probably just need to be that wee bit braver, send more bodies inside, and then the extra man would free itself up. So it should be a huge advantage. It's just they haven't really utilised it enough.
Patrick, as a neutral looking on too, 10 points to 1-4. It's been a good spectacle for the neutral looking on.
Surely has, yeah. Ryan McGovern, before he went off, kicked 3 super scores there. Whatever happened on that far side, it's not like Ryan, but anyway, he's gone now. Took Derrygonnelly time to settle down again there, but they started strong and they finished strong there. But no, super game for neutral, yeah.
As you're touching on Erne Gaels, they may look for these 2-pointers that they're known for, and I'm sure that'll be the likes of Ultan Kelm, Oisin Kelm and Aegon Kelm maybe stepping up to try and aim for 2-pointers.
Yeah, they have 2-point kickers, but I don't think they'll come out and they'll start, lining up 2-pointers from the start. I think they'll try and just eat away at the lead. It won't be long going in, even with 1-pointers, if they can get a bit of a foothold, especially on kickouts. But I suppose you have that advantage now of the extra man and a bit of a breeze at your back. So when it comes to probably the last 10 minutes, and if they're still needing those 2-pointers, they'll probably start taking them on.
The conditions are really starting to worsen here. Both sides, I'm sure, will look to the subs. Derrygonnelly have already made the one substitute. I'm sure both sides will start using the sub bench too as the game goes on.
Yeah, they will. We're just looking there. I think maybe Derrygonnelly on paper have a stronger bench to come on there. So whether they use it or not now coming down to home state is to be seen. But Sean Flanagan won't be afraid to run subs now. Subs will be important here now. Yeah.
And Dara, I suppose we'll cut it off. Still sticking to your predictions, lads. Patrick, you were Derrygonnelly. Dara, you were Erne Gaels. Have either of you changed?
Starting to doubt myself now, to be honest, after watching that first half. But I'll stick with it. I think Belleek have shown serious character throughout this championship, and that's not going to change. And they've got leaders all over the pitch. I think they will, they lead away at that lead slowly but surely, and they'll reel it in with that extra man.
Patrick, down to 14 men. Does it affect your prediction?
No, I still think Derrygonnelly will take it here. They're very experienced. They've come across this before. They've been here before in the situation, man down. So Sean Flanagan will know what to do in this scenario. So no, I'm sticking with Derrygonnelly. Yeah.
As the rain really starts to come down here in Brewster Park, we'll hand it back to Gerard Tressay and Martin O'Brien.
Here, yeah.
Welcome back to the gantry here, high above the stand here in Brewster Park, the John Vesey stand, of course. Just an opportunity before the players and our officials come back out onto the pitch to advise you of a big workshop that's taking place. You can see it there on your screen, the Coaching and Player Pathway Workshop on Monday the 27th of October in St Michael's College at 7 p.m. One definitely not to be missed. Put it in the diary. You can see the speakers, the quality and the experience of the men involved. Peter McGinnity, Adrian McGuckin, my old time friend with BBC Radio Ulster, of course, back in the day, and Malachy O'Rourke. And of course then we have in the second half of the show Roger Keenan from Ulster GA, and also Peter Teague, the school teacher from Dromore, involved up at St Michael's there. He will also be delivering some tips about developing players, building teams and strengthening clubs. So put that in the diary. It's on Monday night, the 27th of October at St Michael's at 7 p.m. And also just a reminder of tomorrow morning, the Gaels against genocide in Gaza. The walk tomorrow morning, a solidarity walk, has been organised by the Fermanagh Gaels against genocide in Gaza. The walk will set off from Creighton Chapel near Lisson at 10:30 a.m. and make its way to Brewster Park ahead of the intermediate final tomorrow. Everyone is encouraged to attend and show your solidarity with the Palestinian people, and very important to wear your club colours. There'll also be a collection for the proceeds going for medical aid for Palestinians, so please support that generously if you can. And also just to put in your diary tomorrow afternoon, the intermediate football final coming to you live here on Fermanagh GA TV. It's Irvinstown against Belleek, and that game throws in here at 2 p.m. with coverage starting at about 1:45. So big afternoon for Irvinstown and Belleek tomorrow, and it's an Irvinstown man that's in the middle of your screen there at the minute. That is Barry Monaghan, tonight's referee, and of course Irvinstown, Belleek and Derrygonnelly, the three of them all out doing big fundraising draws at the moment. So we wish them all the very best with those fundraising draws over the next 6 or 8 months as they cover through the county and further afield. So the man who's beside me is Marty O'Brien. Marty, a lot of the talk at half-time, of course, has been about the sending off. You've covered it fairly well in the first half, but it remains to be seen how significant a factor it will be in this game.
Yeah, I think it definitely will be. It'll probably come. It'll come to the fore possibly as the game wears on, and with that bit of a breeze in this half as well. Derrygonnelly, they defended very well, but they were defending, close enough to the goals. Erne Gaels do have a threat from out round that 2-point arc, and with the breeze here especially, and the extra man that could come to the fore now in this half. Derrygonnelly might have to push out slightly further, and that could leave gaps in behind as well. So it'll be difficult for Derrygonnelly to keep them out against that breeze, but they've done well so far, so it'll be interesting to see now if they can keep them out, especially and to quell that 2-point threat.
It's really interesting what's happening here at the moment. The Derrygonnelly team, I understand, are down in the tunnel. They're not going to come out on the pitch until Belleek, Erne Gaels Belleek, come out of the dressing rooms down to our right hand side. I was going to say they're the new dressing rooms, but they're not really. The new ones are the old ones, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
a wee bit of cat and mouse going on here. But I suppose Derrygonnelly within the rights, they could be down there having a final chat. Here they come, yeah. And Erne Gaels just got the wave on there, so it's petty stuff now. I don't suppose that's going to make a massive difference to how this game goes. It's just a wee bit of mind games. That nobody wants to be out there standing and waiting on the other team. But there was not a big wait for Derrygonnelly in the end anyway, but it does look like there was a concerted effort to be the second team out there. Belleek won that round, so we'll see if they can follow it up now in the second half.
Yeah, and Derrygonnelly, very interesting, stood and kept themselves dry down in the...
Well, that's it too, the rain coming down, yeah.
The rain was very heavy at half-time, but it has thankfully eased a bit.
Yeah, it has, yeah. The wind is still like there's still a reasonable enough breeze there, but hopefully the rain subsides now, but it'll just add to it as well a wee bit. Leave it a wee bit trickier. The conditions, a wee bit slipperier, more chance of a slip or a spillage in dangerous places here. So Aegon Kellam is right underneath us here as the spare midfielder, and I think it's Shane McGullion on the far side. Both teams will probably have a plot for if they can win this clean, what they can do. And Aegon Kellam with that kind of space would be a very dangerous man if he can get away.
Well, Stephen McGullion's the man who started the second half like he finished the first in top form and has won that. The ball has gone out over the sideline down there.
What we talked about there, the spillage there from Conor Rasley. He's been well marshalled so far, Alton Riley, and I suppose a couple of the one-on-one battles are going in the way of the defenders. A couple of Erne Gaels big men up front. Shane Rooney's been quiet. Mickey Jones picking him up, and up top as well there, Alton Kellam has been on a bit of ball, but again Oisin Smith doing well enough. He hasn't scored yet, so
all to play for here as Aegon Kellam slips it through the hands there. Coming forward as Paul Ward gives it back to Aegon, but he's pulled it to the right hand side and pulled it wide. 5 wides each in the first half.
Yeah, disappointing there again. Aegon had a wee bit of space, a wee bit of afters there. Lee Jones and himself just getting to know each other. But the conditions could play a part now in this half.
No changes to either team at half time. Declan Bonner and Paul Brennan down below us on one side. So too Sean Flanagan and Paul Green. Ball won by Belleek in the hands of Alton Kellam. Kellam looks up, lays it back to his captain Brian Lyons. Scored that last point of the first half. Maybe a crucial point it might turn out to be. 10 points to 1-4 at half time. Ball in the hands of Oisin Kellam. Feeds a good ball forward, looking for Brian Mullins. Slipped at the first time of retrieving it, but fed it out to Tommy McCaffrey. eventually. Comes out this near side now to Ryan Lyons. Belleek will use the width, so they're attacking with an extra man, of course. They'll try and drag Derrygonnelly out into places they don't want to be as Ultan Callum comes forward. Great score from Ultan Callum. Came off the left hand side touchline at pace, took it and pummeled the ball over the bar.
Yeah.
Fine score.
Yeah, we just talked about Ultan maybe not getting on the score sheet, but that'll give you can hear an extra cheer in the crowd when a player like that gets a score, and it'll give the boys on the pitch a boost as well. So the pressure's on Jack now and his kick out against the breeze. So Erne Gaels will be certainly looking to try and put that kind of pressure that Derrygonnelly managed to put on Brian Ryder in the first half.
Ball broke again by Stephen McGullion and into the hands of Ronan McHugh, picked up there by Aidan Duffy, substitute in the first half. Ball comes cross field into the hands of Stephen McGullion. McGullion feeds it down to Conal Rasdell, comes off the knee of Conal Rasdell, and Ultan O'Reilly really
great defending there by Ultan. Yeah, very tight on him, and I thought he did pop the ball out there, and I thought maybe it was a chance that it was a Derrygonnelly ball, but maybe it was the knee. I thought maybe Ultan had got the hand in, but yeah, great defender. He's keeping Conal Rasdell very quiet. To Erne Gaels will be very happy with that matchup so far.
Ball spread now over the far side by Paul Ward, picked up there by Barry McCann. We're number 15, but playing in defence in this championship final. Ball fed back to Jack McCann, and then it comes to Ryan Lyons. Lyons looks up, fists it forward to Tommy McCaffrey. McCaffrey comes forward, still in possession, has pace, has craft, has experience, still going forward, lays it off to Ultan Callum. Scored a point a moment ago, confidence high, comes across the arc, lays it off. Back in the hands of Ryan Lyons. Good ball or good run off the shoulder by Ultan O'Reilly. We'll commend him for his defensive duties a few moments ago. Back it comes to Ultan Callum. Looks a different animal in this second half, it has to be said so far. Started very, very brightly. Gives it to Oisín Callum. Oisín Callum on the edge of the arc. Feeds it back out one more time. This time picked up by Ultan O'Reilly. O'Reilly spreads the play over the far side. Picked up by Barry McCann. Threads a brilliant ball into Shane Rooney. Rooney tried to get onto the left bird. Curls, shoots, gets the shot away. Fine effort by Shane Rooney. Brilliant effort by Shane Rooney. Over the bar it goes. 2 points in the opening 4 minutes of the second half for Erne Gaels. They've brought it back to a 1 point game, and they'll be really, really pleased with this.
They will, yeah. And that's the second man I mentioned. That's a reverse commentator's curse there, as Shane Rooney gets off the mark as well. So Erne Gaels now starting to put a bit of pressure on, and they've turned this kick out as well.
Yeah, in possession. Ryan Lyons lays it off now to Egan Callum. Bit of space for Callum to work in. Still Callum, he has Tommy McCaffrey, but Alexta gives it to his brother. His brother's Ultan. Shot goes in from Ultan. He'd be disappointed with that one. Thought he had found his range early doors there in the second half, but this time it goes to the right hand side and gone wide. How do Derrygonnelly quell this? Erne Gaels, excellent start to the second half.
It's very similar to how Derrygonnelly started and played most of the first half, putting pressure on the kick out, get that against that bit of a breeze. Erne Gaels getting the big men in around the middle and winning the breaks, and I think it's getting hands on the ball off a kick out is what's required here.
Ball kicked out there. Oisín Smith didn't get it at the first attempt, didn't get it at the second attempt, and Ultan Callum does well. Looked a fine kick out from Jack Kelly. Thought he measured it really well.
Should have took it. He should have took it. Those are the balls you need to be winning. Derrygonnelly needed that ball to get out, and he just let it spill there under a bit of pressure.
Tricky conditions as well as Barry McCann comes forward. Referee allows play to continue. Ball shipped out now to Oisín Callum. Callum crossfield looking for Ryan Lyons. Over to Egan Callum. Callum coming forward. Lays it off to Ultan. Ultan does well. Cuts inside. Has support there from Ryan Lyons. It's interesting that Ryan Lyons, Ultan Callum, Egan Callum are the men all hovering round the arc. They're the ones that Belleek want in possession. Ball fed in, not the best ball in the world. Picked up on this occasion by Lee Jones, the 31-year-old. Does well. Derrygonnelly get their hands on ball. They need to hold on to it now, settle themselves into this second half because they've been under the cosh. Belleek have hit 2 points, have brought back to a 1 point game. 10-1-6 here in the Monarch Senior Football Championship final. Coming to you live on Modern Brothers Fermanagh GATV. The ball in the hands of Ronan McHugh. The referee says he carried it too long.
He definitely carried. If he didn't overcarry it twice, he overcarried it 3 times. I can't believe he did it the second time after doing it right in front of the referee the first time. But the right decision by Barry Monaghan.
Ball over the far side now to Dan McCann. Dan looks up, surveys his options, gets the shot away. Probably drop short. Does drop short. Dan will be disappointed with that. Ball in the hands of Jack Kelly. He feeds it out there to Jarlath Flanagan. Flanagan comes out. Has support there provided by Gareth McGovern. McGovern in possession. Ball fed inside. Picked up there now by Gary McKenna. McKenna being tackled strongly there by Shane Rooney. Too strongly, says our referee. And Gary McKenna comes forward. All sorts of orders and instructions being provided down below us. They're all going the way of Ronan McHugh. Not sure what the orders and instructions are. We'll follow the play. Ball in the hands of Lee Jones. Jones comes forward. Striding forward, little bit of space, creeps inside the 45-metre line. Still going is Lee Jones. Brilliant run from Lee. Still in possession. Still going Lee Jones. What a run. Can he finish? The answer is he lays it off. Feeds it back out now. Picked up by Stephen McGullion. McGullion looks up. Screaming for it there is Rory Smith. Smith steadies down with the left foot. In it goes. That's a fine score.
Brilliant
from
score,
Rory
yeah.
Smith. The 19-year-old done really, really well.
Yeah, and I was thinking that Derrygonnelly needed a couple of players just to come and put the hand up, take the ball, take that tough ball on and bring it up the pitch. It was Lee Jones on that occasion, carried it under serious pressure in tough conditions, held on to it well, made the right decision, shipped it off, and the ball recycled around, and a great score from Rory Smith. I think that's his first of the day as well.
Yeah, it is indeed. Puts it out to a 2-point game, 11-9. I was looking at me doing my research this afternoon. It's very interesting that a lot of lads playing here today played for Derrygonnelly when they first won the championship 30 years ago this year, 1995. They beat Lisnaskea, and out playing now as sons of Gary Smith, of course, is Rory. Then also Gareth, John McGovern has a son out there, Gareth. So too Oisin Smith, the son of Niall. There's a couple of others that I've probably missed. Of course, Jarlath Flanagan. How can I forget the captain? That's Sean Flanagan back in 1985. First time I commentated on a game in Fermanagh Senior Football Final 30 years ago. Still at it and still enjoying it. This is a terrific final here. 11-1-6. The ball is in the hands of the Belleek men, and it's a free that'll be awarded as a change is going to be made. And what a man to be able to bring on. Seamus Ryder is coming on the field, and the man coming off is Dan McCann. Dan had a blistering championship last year, quiet championship this year.
Yeah, and he's been quiet enough today. I think he was involved maybe in the sending off, but aside from that, he has been quiet. He hasn't. We're always expected to see Seamie. He's going inside here right away, so I'd imagine Oisin Smith might have to go back in with him, which will be a bit of a change up. He had been picking up Alton Kellam. Seamie's a handful no matter where he is. If he's in the middle of the park or inside, he's a massive big man. He can take a score. He's got great hands, very strong player, very hard to get the ball off, and he offers a different dimension to that Erne Gaels attack. And again, a mix up, a switch up for Derrygonnelly. I think Aaron Jones is going out to Alton Kellam now. Aaron will be relishing the opportunity, I think, but Oisin Smith will have his hands full inside with Seamie.
Certainly will. That was the other two sons, of course. I forgot Peter Jones. God rest his soul. He was also involved in that 1995 Derrygonnelly side. The ball is in the hands there of Lee Jones. Lee coming forward. Terrific run a moment ago. Set up the score for Rory Smith. Still in possession. Cuts inside. Gives it to McKenna. McKenna does well. Does that a tug on the arm? The referee says it is a tug on the arm. Dead straight in front of the goals. And I would expect that the 2 points that Belleek got at the start of the second half will be cancelled out as we hit the 10-minute mark, because this should be an easy opportunity for Gary McKenna to pop this one over the bar, if anything is an easy opportunity in a championship final.
Yeah, just a wee trip there, a good run again into the heart of the Erne Gaels attack, and you'd imagine that Gary will be slotting this one over the bar, and a good response to a strong start to the half from Erne Gaels. They're going to be happy now if they can put this one over and get there to get the 3-point lead back up again.
Well, steadies down. Does Gary McKenna, pops it over the bar. 12 points to 1-6. Played 10 minutes. I think that's our second point from free in this game. The other one coming for Conan Razzle. I think all Belleek scores have came from play. That brings Gary McKenna's tally to 6 points in this game. Two of them 2-pointers, of course. Good take there, and the ball fed forward now to Alton Kellam. Kellam with space. Great run by Egon Kellam. What a run by Egon. Lays it off to Tommy McCaffrey. Oh, great defensive play was it. Oisin Smith done really, really well there. Left his man and came out and just intercepted at the vital time. Yeah, Oisin Smith, terrific challenge.
Excellent, yeah. And just before that, Aegon was going no further. I think it might have been Rory Smith that just put his body on the line and put that wee bit of pressure on, meant the pass didn't go to chest, and then great pressure from Oisin Smith to turn that. That was dangerous. You see Aegon Callum, his speed is frightening.
Tommy McCaffrey, another man with pace, comes forward, lays it off this time, gives it to Shimmy Ryder. First effort at the post, looks brilliant from Shimmy Ryder. That's why Declan Bonner introduced him a few moments ago, and he has scored a super point with his first touch of the game.
There from Shimmy, he had that bit of space, and he, as I said already, he has good feet. He can slot the ball over the bar, no problem, and a calm head out there, which will be a help to him. And I see Martin Gilfeather coming on, another experienced player coming from the bench for Erne Gaels here.
Yeah, Martin Gilfeather on the field of play wearing number 17, a regular over the years. He replaces Owen Johnson, I think it was, that came off wearing number 7.
Yeah.
Break ball, so crucial. Oh, strong, purposeful play there by Shane Rooney, and well, Ronan McHugh could be in a wee bit of bother here. Yeah. Referee will want to speak to Ronan McHugh, and I would be surprised if this isn't brought forward.
I'd be interested to see what happened after the free kick. It definitely a foul from it looked like Shane Rooney went for him after the foul there. Went for McHugh. It looked. I don't think we're going to get a replay, but yeah, definite foul and a booking. Yeah, definitely.
12 points to 1-7. 2 points between the sides. It will be a replay if this one ends up level at full time, as Aegon Callum is in possession. Gives it over there to the man who came on a few moments ago. He puts up the hand. Does the umpire put up the hand? I think he does.
Yeah, Barry McCann
was.
Yeah. Barry, again, another man with good feet. Got a wee bit of space, and the gaps are starting to appear slightly easier in that Derrygonnelly defence this half. They're possibly tired. May look to the bench soon enough, but again, the conditions are playing into it as well. But a great score from Barry McCann.
Super score from Barry McCann, his second of the game. Ball picked up there by Lee Jones. Jones has a bit of space to operate in. Comes forward at pace. Off his shoulders, Conal Razzle. Ball still in the hands of Lee Jones. Lays it off. Derrygonnelly still foraging, looking for scores. McKenna cutting inside. Lays it off there to Ronan McHugh. McHugh back out to Rory Smith. Smith gives it to Stephen McGullion. McGullion coming forward. Conal Razzle gets involved, but has to lay it back to Stephen McGullion. Good defensive play again by Erne Gaels, and particularly Alton O'Reilly, keeping Conal Razzle really quiet, and that's a brilliant interception on that occasion by the Erne Gaels substitute. That's Martin Gilfeather. That's his first touch. So Brian Ryder came on with his first touch, and he kicked a point. Martin Gilfeather comes on, and he turns over a vital ball, as the ball now is fed forward, looking for Oisin Callum. Game getting stretched. Great run in the middle by Alton Callum if he can be found. Gary McKenna is trying to keep up with him. Ball in the hands of Oisin Callum, still going. Gives it off there to Alton O'Reilly. What a terrific game he's having. Ball in the hands now of Ryder. Lays it back to Shane Rooney. Shane Rooney onto the right boot. Oh, that's a disappointing effort from Shane Rooney. Goes to the right hand side and wide.
Again, a disappointing wide there now, but Erne Gaels are just starting to look that bit more dangerous on the turnover there. You can see men streaming forward. Martin Gilfeather got forward well there. Rooney really on the end of it, should have got a score. Ronan McHugh disappointing up here. The ball, you could see he was slow going into it, and it was a turnover waiting to happen, and it happened, and luckily for Derrygonnelly they weren't punished on the far side. And I see a couple of changes. Ronan is making way, and Rory Smith as well. So Derrygonnelly looking to the bench here, and
Michael Duffy wearing 24 is on. Didn't spot who the other sub was. I think it could be Connor Burns. Is it? Looks like him down below us. Yeah, it is.
Connor Burns.
The 22-year-old is on the field of play. Man who was away during the summer, involved in the county panel this year. Yeah. This is a chance Derrygonnelly have numbers since that man Conor Burns coming forward. Still Burns faced up there by Oisin Callum. Ball fed forward. Ball in the hands of Shane McGullion. McGullion looks up. McGullion chips it in, chips it over the bar. Fine score. Steadied down right at the prompt moment.
Yeah, a great breakdown again by McGullion around the middle, and it just broke the right side. 3 Derrygonnelly man, Jarlath Flanagan and McGullion, and the substitute just coming off it there, and the right man at the right time. Shane McGullion, we talked about we'd need him to be coming in and leading this. He was just the right man to get his hands on the ball. Very composed and a great score.
13-11. Ball fed forward, very open now. Egan Callum, good ball to Tommy McCaffrey. McCaffrey bearing down on goal. Still McCaffrey gives it back to Callum. Callum shoots. What a save from Jack Campbell. Oh, Jack Campbell from Jack Kelly. Brilliant save there.
Great save.
And Michael Jones tidying matters
a
up.
brilliant pass from Ulton O'Reilly. Opened up that play for Erne Gaels. Got it into the hands of the man who you want on the end of it. And just a good save. Jack Kelly getting down well, a big man. But again, Erne Gaels looking dangerous. But Derrygonnelly equally are looking dangerous when they're going forward as well.
Yeah, Conor Burns has come on the field and started brightly. Ball fed inside. McKenna! Blocked! Brilliant block on that occasion by Michael O'Magargle, I think it was. But the referee is going to bring it back. So there's goal chances at both ends.
Yeah, that was brilliant from Gary McKenna. It was a ball over the top, but a very, very difficult one to take. He nearly had to get the Belleek man out of the way and catch the ball at the same time. Excellent bit of forward play. We're having a look at the chance here and the save from Jack Kelly. Great save and cleared his lanes well. Mickey Jones, yeah, he did, and really excellent from Gary McKenna. I'm surprised now he got that wee bit of space. He had done all the hard work. A great save or a block from Michael Ogue maybe, but a chance to put one over the bar here from the free kick.
It's very fractious down the sideline.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of personalities and a lot of opinions down there, I'd say, Ger.
That's putting it mildly at the moment. It's very, very noisy down below us. I'm not really engaging in what's happening down there, following the play as McKenna pops that one over the bar. 14 points to 1-8, back up to a 3-point game. Derrygonnelly are somehow managing to keep their noses in front.
Yeah, they are, and it's tit for tat really. But Derrygonnelly have that 3-point cushion. Any 2 or 3 pointers at this stage of the game will be massive.
Ball fetched well there by Ulton Callum. Callum coming forward, lays it off to Tommy McCaffrey. McCaffrey still in possession, coming forward. Needs help. Brian Mullen comes out to take the ball off, but it's laid off to Ryan Lyons. Lyons does well. Spins round his county colleague. That is Shane McGulley. Oh, brilliant from Ryan Lyons. Absolutely brilliant score. That is a 2-pointer. That is as good as you'd want to see.
Absolutely perfect. We were just right behind it there, and you could see the free was given, and he just took the solo and go. And the outside of that left foot is trusty. That is an excellent point. We said 2 and 3 pointers at this stage of the game will be big. And coming from your leader, you could hear the roar of the crowd before it was even given over the bar. An excellent score from Ryan Lyons and a big score for Erne Gaels.
19 minutes played, 1 point between the sides. 14-13 in favour of Derrygonnelly Harps. They're in possession. They've won the free. Lee Jones gets on with it quickly. Great pace to this game. Ball now switched over this near side of the field. Picked up on this occasion by Michael Duffy. Duffy outside the arc, steadies down, gets the shot away. Will it curl over? That is absolutely brilliant. What a score from Michael Duffy, just on the field of play, and he pops it over the bar for a quite magnificent score.
As good as Ryan Lyons' was, it was a slightly expected score when he given that bit of space. We've seen him doing it for club and county millions of times before, but that from Michael Duffy was a huge response, and for a young man to come on, that's great leadership and a massive boost for Derrygonnelly there.
How long was that ball in the air, Marty?
Yeah, it was. I thought now it was going to drop maybe just on the post or into Brian Ryder's hands, but a brilliant score and great bravery, great courage to take it on and then to back it up.
Belleek coming forward now with Tommy McCaffrey. Still striding forward. This is an opportunity to get an instant reply. Still McCaffrey. Steadies down. Surely should score. Does score over the bar.
Yeah,
it goes.
Good point, yeah. I thought he made a double bounce. No good response from Erne Gaels. Again, Ulton Riley coming forward. He's having a great game there at the back, and going forward as well. He's making a massive impact. But substitution on now for Derrygonnelly. Eamon McHugh, again, bags of experience there, comes on for Conan Rasdale. So Eamon will be getting stuck into the middle of this, I would imagine, from the get-go. I think he's on with Lyons at the minute. It could be a man-marking task, but Derrygonnelly have possession again from the kick out.
Yeah, well, the referees called it back, trying to just keep up with the scores. 1-11 to 16. What's that? 16-14.
Yeah. 2-point game. It's tit for tat here, and it could go either way. Really could.
Yeah. Who did you tell me came on there? Was
Eamon McHugh came on for Conal Rasdale.
Yeah, 17-13. experience for youth, 37-year-old for the 18-year-old.
Yeah, Connell, his first county final, I think, I would imagine.
Yeah,
but
it is,
like just had a tough day.
Did a minor final earlier this year.
Well, there you go. Alton O'Reilly has had a great game in on him there. Eamon brings a different dimension to. He'll be determined and dogged in around the middle of the park. And he'll get up and down, but I think it may be just. I see him there. He's in there wrestling with Ryan Lyons. It could be just a one-on-one job for him, which will be interesting to see. Ryan Lyons that's no easy task, but I get definitely a different dimension than Conor Asdale.
Lee Jones probing again. He's carried a lot of ball and covered a lot of ground in this second half for Derrygonnelly. 16-14. Ball fed back out to Shane McGullion. We look at the watch. 22 minutes played in the second half. 8 minutes to go, plus whatever the referee.
Shane want to be careful with that push off. He's tried it again here.
Callum breached there, but only for a couple of seconds. Wasn't really impacting play, so wasn't called as Derrygonnelly come forward again with McKenna. McKenna does well, twists and turns, lays it inside. Ball now in the hands of Conor Burns, is it? Gets the shot away.
Jarlath Flanagan, I think. Yeah, great score. Right. Yeah, he just popped up in the right place, and I think that's his second of the day. He's having he's quietly going about his business there, Jarlath. But a very important score there. Puts 3 points in it, and a big kick out here now with just over 5 minutes to go. Yeah,
he got the second point of the game to Jarlath Flanagan, and now he's got a really important score that brings it out to 17-14. But Belleek, they came back in terrific fashion, of course, against Erne to retrieve that game and win by a point. They're 3 points down with 6 minutes to go. Ball in the hands of Tommy McCaffrey. Probing. Ryder gives it inside to Ryan Lyons. Scored a wonderful 2-pointer a moment ago. Brilliant ball in, but intercepted there.
Mickey Jones again. Excellent from Mickey there.
Super.
Making his presence felt and a massive turnover. You know, Derrygonnelly, even at this stage now with 5 minutes to go, they'll be thinking about possession and maybe slow build up. They'll not be trying to force anything now. Erne Gaels are pushing hard for a turnover, but Lee Jones again.
Lee Jones, what massive, a second half this man has had.
Brilliant.
You're going to have to think about man of the match. Well, you don't. You have 7 minutes at least to think about it. So we'll not put you under pressure. But there's a couple of notable contenders, I would suggest, as the ball is fed forward.
Like on both teams, there's definitely been a couple of outstanding performances.
It's been an entertaining final, and
we'll let it brew for another minute.
We have 6 minutes left to go, and Garrett McGovern comes forward. McGovern slips it inside to Conor Burns, slips it back. McGovern wasn't expecting it, does well, retrieves possession. Back it goes to Stephen McGullion. McGullion feeds it inside, gives it to, well, that's Gary McKenna. Gary McKenna's fouled, and it's outside the 2-point arc, and Jack Kelly is being called forward. 17 points to 111, 17-14.
He's been sent back. No, they're bringing him up. Like if this goes over, it puts a lot of pressure on Erne Gaels.
Certainly does, but we said that against Erne as well.
I know, yeah, definitely. Oh look, it wouldn't. It's not game over by any stretch of the imagination, but it means that Derrygonnelly have that extra little cushion. You know, a couple of scores in it. It's not an easy kick. The breeze is probably not blowing too hard at the minute. He had one in the first half, and it was actually a lovely ball in for a big full forward to put his hand on, but it just dropped short, and there wasn't a Derrygonnelly man in near it. So interesting to see now with this against the breeze.
Here comes Jack Kelly, kicks it left foot. It looks good for Kelly. That's a brilliant effort from big Jack Kelly.
Great
what
score.
A score!
Excellent. And just stroked it. Yeah, just stroked it over the bar, and Erne Gaels looking to get away fast here.
That's a 2-pointer for Derrygonnelly, brings it out to 19-14, a 5-point lead. 5 minutes left to go in this Monarch Senior Football Championship final here on Mullen Brothers Fermanagh GA TV as Belleek come forward. Ball in the hands of Brian Mullen. Mullen, experienced campaigner, lays it back. Belleek won't do panic. They'll trust themselves. They'll back themselves. Tommy McCaffrey comes forward. McCaffrey lays it off to Oisín Callum. Callum does well. Coming forward, lays it, gives it to the brother. The brother back to Oisín. Oisín leaves it inside. Brilliant move to Ryder! Into the back of the net it goes. Super goal, palmed into the net by Paul Ward, above all men. Had came forward there, had crept forward. Belleek played it through the hands, and ultimately it was popped into the net. Ryder seen Ward on the back post, and I have to give credit to Paul Ward. He dealt with that really well.
Yeah, excellent for a man. He's probably not used to that area of the pitch. A great move by Erne Gaels. They were probing, but with a lot of purpose there. They knew they had gone 5 points down, and now the thing has flipped again. Derrygonnelly by 2, but anybody's game.
What a final we're having here on Fermanagh GATV. Ball is on the ground, picked up by Ryan Lyons. Belleek come again. They're smelling blood. Egan Callum is over the top, but Ryan Lyons doesn't need him. Super effort from Lyons, and it goes over the bar and saves. Brilliant score from Ryan Lyons. That's his second of the game. One was a 2-pointer. That's a 1-pointer. It's back to a 1-point game.
A brilliant score from Ryan Lyons again. Breaking ball, just bounced away of Erne Gaels. And the right man in the right place, as we said a few times already today. The wind took it nicely for him. It looked like it might have curled wide, and it just that wee bit of a breeze pushed it over the bar. 1 point in it. It's a tight one.
It's a titanic tussle here between the two top teams in Fermanagh. Break ball, won again by Conor Burns. He's done really well since he came on. Tommy McCaffrey. Well, Sean Flanagan is remonstrating down there, claiming that he pulled his legs.
He pulled him down to the ground. I think they've done away with the black card without telling us.
Ball in the hands of Conor Burns coming forward. He's been brilliant since he came on. Has he scored? No, he doesn't. It's gone to the right hand side.
I didn't realise he had the hand up, because I was going to say it was an awful thing to do, to take that shot on. It didn't look like there was a score in it, and now he's brought it in, so it's going to be a definite point. I think Brian Mullen possibly just have given it a wee bit of verbals, but with the advantage there, it was definitely the right thing to do to take the shot. But good response from Derrygonnelly. It's a manic game at the minute.
It's a manic game, but it's also manic down on the sideline. I've referenced that a few times. What are we at? A 1-point game, 19-18, and well, this should be a chance now for Gary McKenna to pop over his 7th point of the game and bring it out to a 2-point game with 2 minutes left. There could be a replay. Who knows? This has been a really, really exciting final. As Gary McKenna steadies down in front of the post. Gary McKenna kicks his 7th point of the game, and Derrygonnelly lead by 2, but will it be enough, Marty O'Brien?
Massive kick out here, massive kick out. Derrygonnelly are pressing it so far as they can. I'd imagine they'll be looking to try and contest this, and it'll be breaking ball. Who gets the rub of the green, or who gets in their head in for it?
Brian Ryder's kick out it goes over the far side. Hands go up.
Flanagan nearly had his hands around it.
Callum now, there's numbers for Belleek. Oisín Callum striding forward. He has his brother Alton off to his right, lays it off to him. Good. Oh, well, that's a high challenge there. And the referee, that was Eamon McHugh, I think it was it?
It might have been Gareth McGovern, possibly.
McGovern, was it?
Yeah. It was an Eamon McHugh-esque challenge, I'll say, but it was a foul, just high. He was down, but a good break from Belleek. I would say Callum was low, so it wasn't like a dangerously high challenge, but it's a free kick, I suppose.
Yeah, Shane Rooney pops it over the bar.
Yeah.
So we're down to a 1-point game again.
Another massive kick out. I thought Jarlath Flanagan had his hands on the ball in the far side, just popped out, and Erne Gaels are deadly on the break. I was really kicking off here now down below, but we'll leave them at it. Michael Keown under a lot of pressure there as the 4th official.
Certainly is. It's always very, very tense pitch side, but that was what you expect. It is a championship final. Ball out in the middle of the field, breaking ball. They all go and grab for it and tussle for it. Brian Mullen, the ball fisted out of his hands, and that looks like a free to. This is unbelievable stuff, Marty O'Brien. Unbelievable.
That's a dangerous challenge there now, I would say.
Ian Rooney could be in a spot of bother now.
I think so. Yeah, I think
Derrygonnelly won't mind. It'll run down the clock.
Certainly not. A really, really crucial ball here, and I think it was Eamon McHugh who was in under it. Got a touch on the kick from the kick out, and then the break, and McGullion was on the ground, and it bounced up between the two of them, and then it just Ryan Lyons had it in his hand under serious pressure, or maybe Brian Mullen, and popped out then, and Lee Jones had it, and like this, as you say, Derrygonnelly won't mind this at all. Probably no need for the challenge, but he wanted to stop it. I don't think it was an attempt at a turnover, it was an attempt at a foul.
Deirdre Donnelly trying to keep the peace down below as well. Reinforcements being brought in. Michael Keown, James Lewis, Deirdre Donnelly, all trying to get matters resolved, but it's nearly impossible down there, to be honest.
Derrygonnelly need a man to show up here.
Yeah, and here goes Shane McGullion, the captain of the side. He's the man who showed for it. Gives it to Oisín Smith. Oisín Smith comes out, does well, holds it there. Board went up below us. We didn't see how long it was. 3 minutes of additional time. We've played one of them at the moment. Now the big squeeze here from Belleek, and in possession is, well, that was by Gary McKenna, done really well.
Yeah, and Gary's a cool
Very
head
smart.
as well. Yeah, he's a cool head. Jarlath Flanagan was turning, and I thought he was going to head for the goalie at one stage, and he just found Gary McKenna, who was the right man.
And he's going to have to kick this one long. I don't see him getting out well. Mug does really
brilliant,
well. Steve
brilliant
McGullin
take, brilliant
goes to
take.
ground. The referee is going to penalise him for he's penalised him for touching the ball on the ground.
I'm not sure who he's penalising here. I'm not sure.
I think he's given a free to
Erne Gaels, is it?
To Erne Gaels, yeah. Sean Flanagan may as well be playing. He played 30 years ago in '95.
Yeah.
He was the captain.
He let us know what he was given the free for, but he didn't say which direction. It looked like it could have been either of them picked it off the ground there, but again, Stephen McGullion just taking his time getting up here.
What's in it? 19. Oh, there's just a point between it, is it?
Point game, yeah.
Oh, point game.
So,
well,
like this
is more or less the last play of the game.
This could be the last play of the game, yeah.
So Ryan Lyons is the man in possession.
Stephen has to go off here, I believe, maybe.
I'm not sure why he needs to go off, but well, he's been sent back on again, but I don't think you're allowed to do that. We'll follow the play. Barry McCann to Alton Callum inside the 45, they only need it, or inside the arc to Oisín Callum, back to Alton, the chance, well, the ball has been turned over and Derrygonnelly have it. Lee Jones is the man. And Gareth McGovern took his eyes on the ball. Shane Rooney, he got the winner. It's been turned over again. Ball on the ground. There's a free in. Tommy McCaffrey's been fouled, and this will be the last play of the game.
Remarkable. The ball was touched on the ground. I'm not sure what the free was for. It was turned over one way, turned over the other way. The ball is in the hands of Shimmy Ryder here with a chance to draw the game. I'd like to see that again, Phil.
Well, it looks as if it was touched on the ground by Tommy McCaffrey.
It was certainly touched on the ground. I think maybe Shane Rooney touched it on the ground.
Well, Shimmer's Ryder, here he goes to level it. Right footed, kicks it over the bar, it sails, sides are level. We've played 33 minutes and 15 seconds. I would say that'll be that, and I would say we'll have to come back again for another day out. All level here, all square, all eyes now on Barry Monaghan. Sides locked level. What a game, what a final. 2-14 to 20 points. Barry Monaghan has the whistle in his mouth. Is he going to blow it? The answer is yes, he's blown it. It's all over here. It's level, and both sides will have to do it again. The 2025 championship final has gone to a replay, and I don't know where you would start to analyse that game. It had a bit of everything and more.
Yeah, excellent game. Two very hard fought contest. Like in fairness to Erne Gaels, they kept coming back. The two goals making a big difference there. Paul Ward, in fairness to him, coming up from the back to get that goal was crucial. Derrygonnelly will be disappointed, I would say. Particularly when they had that turnover at the end there. I'm not sure who had the ball in their hands. It just popped out.
Gareth McGovern.
Gareth and Gareth had a good game as well. So it just popped out, and that's the way it goes sometimes. We talked about the conditions. There's a lot of to and fro and down below us there. It's all handshakes now at the minute, but a great game, and in fairness to both teams, they've really left it out there, and then you nearly forget that Derrygonnelly played 50 minutes with 14 men there, and credit to them.
This is for our officials, but officials can't win. It was a tough game to referee. Two committed sides gave it their all, and well, Barry Monaghan walks off with a smile on his face. He's getting plenty of boos from the Derrygonnelly supporters, I would say, but Barry's...
I'd imagine so. I would like to see that last sequence of events again if we could.
You have to call a man of the match. I don't know how you're going to do that, but
who won?
Well, let's have a think about it.
Well, looking through the teams, like at the back for Erne Gaels, definitely Alton O'Reilly. I thought had an excellent game, and Ryan Lyons obviously was leader and he played well, kicked a couple of great points. Up front then as well. Egon Callum, that goal is nearly worth a man of the match in itself. But aside from that, there were probably quiet. A lot of those Belleek lads were quiet. Mickey Jones had a massive game at the back for Derrygonnelly. Huge. Shane McGullion came into it at times, but again, and Stephen McGullion I thought was massive in the middle of the park. Going forward then, Lee Jones showed up very well, particularly in the second half. And up front, I suppose Gary McKenna, he kicked maybe 8 points.
Yeah.
He kept them taking over. The two pointers in the first half was massive for Derrygonnelly, and I suppose with that kind of a tally in a county final, I think you'd probably be steering towards Gary McKenna.
Gary McKenna, yeah, couldn't argue with that. Difficult one to call because you've laid out the key men in the game. There was 3 or 4 from both sides, and of course Ryan McGovern started the game absolutely incredibly.
Absolutely,
hit 3 points and then picked up a red card.
A whirlwind 10 minutes, yeah.
So Derrygonnelly playing with 14 men for 50 minutes will probably be the happier of the two.
I would,
or will they? Because they had a chance
I think they had the game in their hands. They had it won there a couple of times. We said 5 points 5 minutes ago. It wasn't all over, but they still had that turnover. When they had made that turnover at the very end, you thought maybe this is it. They just had to get ball on hand, get it under control, and get it out. But look, they're still there. They didn't lose it, and when going down to 14 after 10 minutes, credit to them. They never gave in, and they kept going at it, and probably should have won the game. But Erne Gaels never give up, and those goals, that power they have going forward, that's the reason why they didn't lose it, and it's probably the reason you say against Erne as well. They came back fierce. They're a good side. They're dogged and they're hard to beat, and that's a good sign of county champions, and that's why they're going again next week.
They're like a cat with 9 lives, aren't they?
Yeah, really.
But that's resilience.
It is resilience.
They've got. They were 5 points down, Marty, and I remember saying, don't write them off. What they do next attack, bang back of the net.
They have come from so many angles as well. The 3 guys are so dangerous, the 3 Callums, and then you've got the like of Shane Rooney there, who was very quiet really, and truly Shane was, but at the same time just a sniff is all it takes, and he'll put the ball over the bar. Tommy McCaffrey again is another man dangerous, and then you've got quality coming from the back with Ryan Lyons as well. Yeah,
we can see Paul Brennan there in the middle of the Belleek huddle, and he's it's fairly harsh words.
Yeah, I think there's Bonner's just finished, and now Paul Brennan's going, and I think Bonner's going again now. But look, it's all well and good. Like the lads have put it all out there. They didn't lose the game, but
it's an anticlimax for both teams, isn't it?
It is. It's disappointing. It just to have to go again, as well. You kind of the build up and everything. You kind of want an end to it. Obviously you don't want to lose it, but to have to go again and back at it again for a week. It's disappointing for the lads.
For the neutrals, Marty.
Excellent. Yeah,
214 to 20 points. Was that 234 scored in the game?
Yeah, excellent. Like and some lovely scores there. We talked Ryan Lyons is one great score, and then Michael Duffy, I think it was for Derrygonnelly, an unbelievable response as well. And look at obviously the goal. You nearly forget about the goal. It feels like that long ago, but like one of the best goals you'll see. Unbelievable finish, and look at there's good quality on show there.
It reminded me one of the Paul Coyle got in the championship final many moons ago, and of course it's appropriate to mention Paul. There's a big charity match next weekend to remember Paul up in Swatragh, when the Devonish team of the 80s and 90s comes together to tug out and play a bit of football up in Swatragh against the home side. So what should be an entertaining afternoon. But look, at the goal was just, it was worth the mission money alone, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a rocket, like an absolute rifle. He knew what he was going to do. He got that small bit of space, and in fairness, you'll do well to see as good a finish as that again.
So final, the replay probably maybe this day week, or I would think it probably is in a week's time.
Yeah,
Derrygonnelly be back up to full tilt with 15 players. Ryan McGovern, I'm sure, will be looking video evidence.
We're all looking video evidence, to be honest with you, Jet. No, I think I would be surprised. It would surprise me if somebody was to strike very blatantly like that in the championship final. But look, you got a red card, so there was definitely something in it. And you put yourself at risk if you do that. You give the referee or you give the linesman a chance. You give them a decision to make. Then that's on you. But very disappointing for Ryan. It was a whirlwind 10 minutes for him. Kicking those 3 points. It just weighed on a 2-pointer, and then to get a red card. But in fairness to the lads around him, his teammates stepped up to the plate for him, and managed to get a draw. Nearly got a win.
And the changes that Derrygonnelly made were impactful. you know, they introduced Aidan Duffy early doors. He done really well. Then I thought Conor Burns was excellent when he came on. Of course, Michael Duffy scored a wonderful 2-pointer, and then the experience of Eamon McHugh.
Yeah, they did, yeah, and they definitely did have an impact. And likewise, the Erne Gaels bench had a good impact as well.
Yeah.
Shamey in particular.
Martin Goodfellow with a brilliant turnover.
That's right, yeah. And look, there is quality, and there's quality probably. You know, any team now, you know, you're looking to have 18, 19, 20 players that you can call upon that they can make an impact, and the bench is so important these days, and both teams displayed that pretty well there today.
Well, that's the voice of Marty O'Brien with us here, and what has been unbelievable evening. It might be a little anticlimactic for both teams that were competing in this final, Erne Gaels and Derrygonnelly, but for us as neutrals and for you, the audience at home, we hope you enjoyed that one. It was a real clinker. It could have went either way, it toed and froed, but eventually it ended up a draw. That Seamus Ryder last kick of the game, more or less free from Seamus Ryder, levelled matters in the 64th minute of the game to leave it 2-14 to Erne Gaels and 20 points for Derrygonnelly. We'll have to come back again next weekend and do it all again. We hope that you will be able to join us for that, but from the production team, all the cameramen, Phil Flanagan and the whole crew, we thank you for your efforts in making this broadcast possible, and also Marty, to yourself for your contribution, and of course Pádraig McGorn and Paddy and Dara pitch side. So from myself, Jerry Tracy, and from Marty O'Brien, thanks for joining us here on Fermanagh GA TV, and we'll talk again next weekend when the championship final will be Take Two.
Thanks, Jerry.
We all need somewhere. We who live for the day that might never come.
Are you excited?
We who go back again and again to where we come from.
Well, lads, what's the crack?
We who won't stop until we're unstoppable.
Very nice shoes tonight.
We who will never say no to getting stuck in.
Yeah.
We who pass on every tradition and skill that was passed on to us. We who love the days that come forever. Him, her, them, us. We all need somewhere that belongs to us all. GAA, where we all belong.